This is a true life story that happened many years ago in a small village called Eziichi, not far from Orlu in Imo State. It is the story of a mother, her only daughter, and the pain that visited their home, and how strength and forgiveness rebuilt what evil tried to destroy. Her name was Neka, a quiet woman who had known both love and sorrow. She married a kind man who died too young, leaving her alone with a small child, Amaraki, and little else but a leaking roof and a mother's determination. Neka worked hard. She farmed under the sun, sold vegetables in the market, and carried firewood to town to buy books for her daughter. People called her an Mg Ofunwa Edbuo, the mother who labors for one child. Amaraki grew up strong, bright, and beautiful, always saying, "Mama, one day I will build you a big house." Then, when Amaraki turned 14, a man named Chai came into their lives. He was a trader from a nearby town, friendly, generous, and always smiling. He bought them food, paid Amaraka's school fees, even helped fix their leaking roof. Everyone said, God has sent Neka a helper. 2 years later, Neka married him. At first, everything seemed fine, but slowly, Chai changed. He began drinking, staying out late, and arguing over small things. His eyes started to follow Amaraki in ways that made her uncomfortable. She avoided him, but he always found reasons to be around her. One evening, when Neka had gone to the market, Chai came home early. Amaraki was in the kitchen washing plates. He entered quietly and said, "You're not a child anymore." Amaraki froze. She felt fear rise inside her. When she tried to move away, he blocked her path. She screamed. Their neighbor, Mama Aiyama, heard the noise and rushed in. Chai ran out of the house, but the story spread through the village like Harmattan fire. That night, Neka came home and found her daughter shaking and crying. When she learned what happened, she did not hide her pain. The next morning, she went straight to the village council. Standing before the elders, she said, "I married this man thinking he would protect my child. Instead, he wanted to destroy her. Let the land hear my voice today." The elders called Chai. He tried to deny it, but the neighbor spoke the truth. He was banished from Eziichi, never to return. From that day, Neka and Amaraki started again, with little but their dignity and faith. Years passed. Amaraki finished school, became a nurse, and built a small bungalow for her mother. White walls, tiled floor, peace at last. Then, one dusty morning, someone knocked on the gate. It was Chai. He looked old, weak, and sick. His business had failed, the woman he ran away with had left him, and life had punished him more than any man could. He knelt before Neka and said, "Please forgive me. I have suffered. I am not that man anymore." Before she could speak, Amaraki came out. She saw him, the man who had stolen her childhood peace. He looked up and said, "My daughter." She cut him short. "I am not your daughter, but I forgive you." Tears filled her eyes as she continued, "I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I will not let what you did control me forever." Chai wept. The elders allowed him to stay at the edge of the village, where he lived quietly until his death. When Amaraki heard he had died, she went to his grave, placed a white flower, and whispered, "You took my childhood, but you will not take my peace." Time moved on. Amaraki focused on her work, caring for the sick and comforting the broken. But though she had forgiven, she still feared love. Then one day, she met Ibuka, a young teacher posted to the mission school near her hospital. He was quiet, humble, and kind, never pushing too hard, never demanding too much. One day, he rushed to the hospital carrying a student who had fallen. Amaraki treated the boy and saw how gently Ibuka comforted the child. Something inside her heart began to soften. He started visiting, helping Neka with chores, bringing books, always respectful. Over time, Amaraki began to trust again. 2 years later, they married quietly in the mission church. No no's, no crowd, just family, faith, and gratitude. As they exchanged vows, Amaraki whispered to her mother, "I thought pain had closed the door of my heart, but love found a window." Amaraki never forgot where she came from. She started a foundation in Eziichi, helping girls go to school, protecting young ones from abuse, and teaching mothers not to hide when danger comes to their doors. Whenever she told her story at women's meetings, she would begin with the same words, "This is not a story I heard. It is a true life story, my story. I lost my voice once, but I found it again." And whenever Neka sat in the front row listening, she would smile proudly and say, "What the enemy meant for shame, God turned into strength."